Howdy y'all, today's video will be remind y'all to renew your different licenses and other cards you'll need as a welder. Today I renewed my TWIC card. And yes, for those of y'all that have a TWIC and they say it can be just set as TWIC, I do know that. A lot of folks just say, do you have your TWIC card or do you have your TWIC? I say both, it really don't matter. But for those of y'all that don't know what a TWIC card is, it is a Transportation Worker Identification Card, TWIC. And I use that to get into the ports, into airports, Department of Defense installations for welding. Truck drivers use it a lot because it's Transportation Worker Identification Card. So it's not just for welders, but if you work at an airport, you work at the ports, you're gonna need your TWIC. It's just something that you need, something that's required for working in U.S. maritime facilities or more secure locations. It is a somewhat security clearance, but it's not like you're working for the CIA or the FBI saying, I have a security clearance. It's not like that, but they gotta go through your background, making sure you don't have a really bad rap, record on you, all kinds of stuff like that, no links to terrorist organizations. And it takes about, they told me it's going to take about 60 days for my renewal to go through, and mine was going to expire at the end of the year, so I just got it done now. They gave me a call, said, hey, it's going to be expiring, and it's going to be a long wait time, so might want to get it done now, so I did that. And it goes to show that all things, it should be done ahead of time, whether it be your OSHA 10, OSHA 30, OSHA whatevers, your welding licensing, certifications, TWIC, forklift, all those things. There's so many different things that you need for being a welder that you can use. If you operate heavy equipment, you need to recertify for your crane, you need to recertify for bulldozer, whatever. It does take a lot of time to recertify, and it gets easy wanting to put it off. But if you put it off, it actually costs more on a lot of things to start up again instead of just renewing. It costs less to renew the TWIC card than to have the initial process gone through, because then you need your birth certificate, and you can't just have a photocopy one. You have to go to have a registered copy. You need to have all kinds of forms of identification. You need to be fingerprinted. They need to take your picture, and of course you can't smile, so you have to sit there, because apparently a lot of the mugshots they take of terrorists and people related to terrorist organizations do not smile, so they want it to be as closely accurate as possible. At least that's what I was told when I got my picture taken. I tried smiling and I actually got hollered at. So you can't smile, and you won't be smiling on your card. At least that's what the folks that were taking my pictures were doing here in Los Angeles. But yeah, don't forget to renew your TWIC card, especially if you're working at the port, at airports, Civi, at DOD installations. It's just, you need that. Truckers, welders, just anyone going in there that needs to do something, certain maritime areas, Coast Guard, all that good stuff. So just a reminder, if y'all have that stuff, get it done ahead of time, even if it's months and months ahead of time. As I said, TWIC, whoever, TSA, they gave me a call and said it's going to be an extra long wait time. It was 45 days for the wait, and now it's past 60 days to get it. And I have another card coming in as well as the TWIC from TSA, and they're going to be sent separately, but that's a whole nother deal. And just remember to get your stuff done ahead of time. It really sucks if you have to go back and redo your licensing for welding, because you can't just get it back by saying, oh, I forgot to pay. They don't play that game, at least not at the LA Department of Building Safety. I've heard of some folks doing that, and they had to take the whole licensing exam again, pay all those extra fees, and an extra tax of some sort. I forgot what it was. It was so long ago that I took my licensing exam, but I remember there's some extra goofy fees I had to pay. So it's just a big old hassle. Just pay it off ahead of time, get it done, and you're set. You don't have to worry about it for a couple extra years. Same thing with TWIC, forklift. Forklift, odds are you probably have to go through another certification unless it's through your work or union. But if you have it just for yourself, you have to go back to somewhere that does that, and then you have to go through the whole course with a bunch of newbies and punks, so that's always fun. Not really, but you got to do it. Same thing with OSHA, you gotta redo your OSHAs. That's always fun because it takes forever and you gotta sit through the most boring classes in the world, but it's gotta be done. So just a reminder, do all that. If you need your TWIC card, I do highly recommend getting it done early. It does take a lot of time. But a little bit of a side note for TWIC card, if you're going to the airport and you don't want to be in the long TSA lines, you can say that you have your TWIC card, you put in your TWIC number, and you can get expedited through. It's like a TSA pre-check, essentially. So you don't take off your shoes, you don't get the extra screening that everyone else does, and you get to go to everyone else. I don't recommend that because you can cause a riot. Ask me how I know. I'm just kidding. But no, you get to go through a little bit faster, and it's just a faster line. Anyone else that has some sort of clearance, or for some reason they have a pre-check on there, and it's just a lot faster going through the airport. I really like that. It's just an added bonus. That's not why I have it. Obviously, it's for work, but it is an added bonus. I think there are a couple other bonuses that I have no recollection of because I don't use them and I have no need to know them. But I think there are a couple others that if y'all want to look it up, it's, I believe it's tsa.dhs.gov. They had to go on today and redo it. And it's not a long process to redo, so I highly recommend redoing all your stuff there instead of having to go back and redo the complete beginning certification part, because then you got to go through all the extra questions, the fingerprinting, you make an appointment, and if you're not there by 2 minutes, oh well, you have to make another appointment 3 months later. It's insane here in Los Angeles. It takes forever to get the appointments for the TWIC, TSA, all that stuff. So again, if you want to work in airports, maritime applications, anything dealing with Coast Guard, DOD, stuff like that, security locations inside the U.S., even if it's miles inland, even in central U.S., it's just needed. So I do recommend that. It's just an extra thing on your application. You're going into a union, a company, you can say, I have my TWIC, I can do these jobs. You don't have to wait 2-3 months for someone else to get their TWIC. I'm all ready to go. It's making you better than the next guy in line by just having your TWIC. So, anyways, just want to put it out there. Don't forget to renew because it's a lot longer and more expensive process to recertify, redo all kinds of cards. And it does get to be a hassle, but just remember, renew them. Just get it done. All right, that was the note for today. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all in the next video.